All right, what is going on, guys, and welcome to the movie Hangout. I am joined by Ricky J. What's up, Rick?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Woo! All right, what's up, Christopher Link?
Hello.
All right, and today we are discussing the brand new image from a Hungarian, I believe, magazine, the cover of it, that had Luke Skywalker from The Last Jedi featured on there. Mark Hamill also tweeted this out, actually in Hungarian. If you looked at the tweet, it was actually in Hungarian. So really cool stuff. If you haven't checked out this, we will pop it up on the screen right now. We will also have a link to the actual article if you guys want to read about it in the description below. But this also, from what I've looked at, obviously I don't know Hungarian, I don't know the language or anything, but from what I've read about this, the quote or the kind of caption for this picture is actually the retaliation of Luke Skywalker. So let's talk about that. We got 3 topics to talk about today. We're going to discuss the picture. Number 1, what do we think? You know, is this a good sign for Luke going into The Last Jedi from what we've seen in The Force Awakens? Number 2, does this mean Luke Skywalker is a Sith Lord now? Like this red kind of glow to him? Has he joined the dark side? Is he going to be kind of following in his father's footsteps? And number 3, what can we expect from The Last Jedi? What are we leaning towards? Some of the theories that we want to talk about. So let's hop right into it. First things first, Ricky J, you've seen the picture. What do you think? What do you think of this awesome Luke Skywalker picture?
Yo, it looks fucking dope, dude.
Right?
Like, I mean, what else is there to say? Like, the picture itself, like, he's all black. He's all in black and shit, dude. Yo, it looks dope as hell. I ain't gonna lie, it looks dope.
All right, Chris, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with Rick?
I do. It's a dope ass picture, and it really makes them gears turn, dude.
Yeah, it really does. And the other thing that I was thinking is he looks pissed. Like, he looks ready to go and kill someone. Like, he looks like the facial expression from that versus, like, if you guys, spoiler alert for Force Awakens at the end, he makes a very different face toward Rey when she approaches him, rather than the I want to go kill someone, I'm ready to become the warrior that I once was 30 years ago. So this picture to me says that he and Rey are gonna fuck some bitches up. They're gonna be going to battle with Snoke and Kylo Ren. I'm really leaning toward that, you know. And the other thing I was also thinking about is Luke has not been the traditional Jedi when it comes to attire. Return of the Jedi, what was he wearing? He wore an all-black suit in Return of the Jedi. So, you know, versus the very light color tan suits that pretty much every other Jedi has worn, such as Yoda or Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon Jinn or Mace Windu, any of them. So Luke has always been kind of that. He has Obi-Wan in him, but he also has Anakin Skywalker in him. And if you guys remember from the prequels, what did Anakin wear in all of the prequels? He wore a very dark robed kind of costume, if you will, in the prequels. So I like that they're kind of bringing in that aspect to it. Do you agree with that? Do you think that this is leaning toward more just how Luke is, that he's kind of that in-between from the light and the dark?
Yeah, I mean, it can, because if you look at the picture, you can also kind of see, like there's a split going down the middle of, like, where it's, like, red and then kind of, like, bluish, and he's standing there, like, in the middle. So, I mean, yeah, it could be where he, like, you know, they may be leaning towards, oh, he's going on the dark side, but in the movie, it could just be a big-ass plot twist, you know?
Right.
But I mean, we won't know anything until the movie comes out. But
yeah, obviously this is just speculation. We don't know anything until
Yeah.
December hits, which is very, very close at this point. I'm so hyped for this year, man. I have been waiting for this movie since Force Awakens, sitting in that theater watching it. I don't know about you guys. When you saw the ending of Force Awakens, were you just not like, can they just show Episode 8 now? Like, are we able to watch that?
In the world.
Like, that might have been the biggest cliffhanger in cinematic history. Because that was like, you're like, is Luke going to actually be in this? Like, I haven't seen him. He wasn't on the poster. Is he going to actually appear? And then he comes in, but he doesn't say a fucking word. So
Yeah, like what the
Chris, your thoughts on this? Do you think this is, him just being Luke Skywalker, that in between the light and the dark, or is it kind of hinting at possibly what Rick was saying with a plot twist that he's going to join his grandson? Yes, grandson, not grandson, nephew. Excuse me. In the dark side.
Dude, there's so many ways it could go. Like, you want to say like, oh no, he would never like go the same way as his father, but then like at the same time, it's like, it's totally possible.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, at the same time, like, imagine like Luke Skywalker goes to the dark side. Like, imagine the fucking like ruse that will make, and like, it just turns the entire like series for
it changes the
turn.
original series. It changes the entire.
It completely changes everything.
Yeah, the whole way you watch the original trilogy, even Anakin stuff in the prequels, watching it changes the whole way you look at it. If he does turn to the dark side, it's like, how do we not see this coming if it comes true? Because Anakin was the same way, So I get where that could possibly be. The thing with me is that I think Luke has always been that kind of middle ground, and I think Anakin was that before. Obviously, he turned to the dark side, but we don't know what Luke's past has been between Jedi and, the events in Force Awakens. We don't know what he's been through, building the count. We haven't heard if he had a daughter. We don't know if Rey's his daughter. No, we don't know any of that. And we don't know if, he had a wife or anything like that. So there's really no backstory to Luke Skywalker going into the Last Jedi other than what we've known from the original trilogy, which was really just he's Darth Vader's son. That's it. We haven't really learned much about Luke other than that he is probably one of the greatest Jedi ever. But he also in the Last Jedi trailer says it's time for the Jedi to end. And that leads to my next question is, do we see kind of that Darth Vader-esque Anakin Skywalker, kind of Luke Skywalker vibe going into The Last Jedi, where he is going to be kind of fighting that urge to join, you don't know the power of the dark side? Could we see the Jedi end and him take over with this new kind of dark Jedi, in a sense, where he's more using what the dark side has to offer, but not fully going to, say, like a Sith Lord level.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? Could we see like a darker Luke, but not as far as, say, like a Kylo Ren or even his father, Anakin Skywalker?
I mean, maybe, but then again, you would have to look. It's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
He, the son of Anakin, the son of Darth Vader. I mean, you would think he would have that ability to become like a Sith. Like you would think. So like if he were going on the dark side, like if he were fully going on the dark side, I bet he would be like a Sith. He wouldn't just be like on the dark side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think if they were to do that, because he has the power, he should have the power.
Well, I mean, yeah, we don't, like I said, we don't know what force
Exactly.
powers Luke has now versus when we saw him on in The Force Awakens. We don't know. There's been no backstory. So
Yeah.
we don't know how powerful Luke is. We could speculate all we want that he's all powerful, that he's this crazy Jedi, wizard dude who has been kind of a hermit for a long time, but now is ready to come back. We don't know what force powers he has. Is he more powerful than Yoda? Is he more powerful than Emperor Palpatine was? We just don't know. And the other thing that's kind of that other opposite is we don't know how powerful Snoke is either. And
True.
if there's going to be an epic battle, it's got to be Luke versus Snoke, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, it has to
be. You can't have the two. What I'm hoping for in this movie is Obi-Wan's Force Ghost to come back. I think that's going to be a big part, especially if Rey is Obi-Wan's daughter, or granddaughter, excuse me. If that's the case, and Ewan McGregor comes back and takes on his Force Ghost, obviously because Alec Guinness can't do it because he's dead. But if Ewan McGregor comes back, which he was already in Force Awakens as a voice cameo, could we see him come back as a Force ghost and kind of lead Luke back from that kind of on the edge, kind of gray Jedi area where he doesn't believe in the traditional Jedi rules, but isn't all, dark? Could we see an Obi-Wan Force ghost come into play?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that'd be like that might be a stretch, but I mean, it could happen. Like, he could be going to the dark side, and then, Obi-Wan comes into his head and, tells him shit, and he could change his mind. I mean, you never know. I mean, I have no idea. It could be possible. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see it, but yeah, I have no idea.
All right, Chris, what are your thoughts? What do you want to see if this is gonna unfold the way that we're thinking it is? If Luke is kind of on the edge between the light and the dark, what do you want to see out of it?
If they were going to this would be the perfect time to use like a Obi-Wan like Force Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect time when he's on the verge of like going to the dark side, and then also like especially if Rey is his granddaughter, like Luke might need to like protect her and like fight with her and stuff, and then Obi-Wan might want him to like go along with her, and like the last thing that Obi-Wan would want him to do is turn out like his father.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it would just be the perfect idea to use an Obi-Wan Force Ghost. Like if it comes up that like he might be going to the dark side.
Well, yeah, and the other thing that we haven't really discussed was in Jedi, I mean, Darth Vader's Force Ghost comes back as Anakin Skywalker. So even more so, what if Anakin was to return as a Force Ghost and go, hey, son, you're kind of fucking up here. What are you doing? I've been there. I've done that. Let's not do that again. That suit's not comfortable, let me tell you. All right, we're not going. I don't want you guys. I don't want you to have to go through that. What if we saw both Anakin and Obi-Wan come back, and kind of not train Luke, but be there as guidance, I guess. Because we saw them at their last in Return of the Jedi. We heard Darth Vader in Rey's Force vision. We also heard Emperor Palpatine, but we also heard Obi-Wan. So there's a lot of things that could happen, but in the trailer, if you remember, Luke is saying, he talks about, what do you see? The light, the dark, the balance. And so what if Luke is kind of just, he needs someone, either whether it be Obi-Wan, whether it be Anakin, whether it be even Rey, to kind of balance him out. Because he might be this all-powerful wizard man who's on this fucking island, but he hasn't seen the world for almost, 5 years, I think they said was the in-between from what Kylo Ren did at Luke's temple to where he is in The Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. So what if Rey is now here to tell him, like, you need to, like, get your shit together, Carol. Like, we got a fight going on. Your nephew is fucking shit up. Like, you need to, like, find that balance. And what if that's the key to bringing Luke back into this fold? What if Rey is the key to that? What if she is the one who brings that balance back into the Force? What if she's the chosen one that everyone's been talking about, and not Kylo Ren, not Luke Skywalker, not anyone else, or Anakin Skywalker? What if Rey was the one who was really supposed to bring this, or is this new prophecy of the chosen one? Because Anakin technically did, I guess, by killing Emperor Palpatine, but a few weeks ago they were speculating that Luke was now or Kylo Ren is now. Everyone's wondering who's the chosen one, and now seeing this image of Luke, it's like, I don't know. He kind of looks pissed off. He kind of looks very angry.
He does.
He looks like his father. He looks like what Anakin looked like in Revenge of the Sith, and so Rey is very pure. Like, she's just coming into this. She's, starting out. She wants to be trained by Luke. If Luke is looking like that and Rey is trying to get trained by him, I don't think Luke's training her. You know, I don't think he wants to train her. I think it's done. And the cave scene in the trailer kind of leads to that, where he's like, it's time for the Jedi to end. Who is he talking to? You know, we got to know these things, man. I need to know. Like, I want to know who he's talking to in that cave, because he's not talking to us. He ain't no Deadpool where he breaks the fourth wall. He's talking to someone in that cave. Who is it? Who is it? Rey? Is it Yoda? Is it a Force ghost of Obi-Wan? Who is it? And that, I think that is the real key of why Luke feels this way. You know, who is he talking to? Who has he been talking to as he's been isolated on Arc 2? You know, who has he been talking to? Not those fucking alien nurses that they released images of, because they don't like him. So, you know, these are things that I think about when I look at this image. You know, this is a angry Luke Skywalker that we've never seen before, other than maybe when he's fighting Darth Vader and cuts off his arm. But we've never seen him we've seen him rage angry, but this looks determined angry. Yeah. Like, he just looks like he has a set plan, and he wants to fuck some bitches up.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for, Rick? To wrap this up, what are you hoping for?
I mean, I'm hoping he doesn't go to the dark side, to be honest, because then, like I said before, that just ruined his whole personality of like who he was. But I mean, then again, it would be interesting to see if he were to go to the dark side, how it would play out. Right.
Chris, what are you hoping to see for Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi? What are you hoping to see? What kind of Luke?
Like, it's so hard to say, because like him going to the dark side would, like I said before, change absolutely everything.
Yeah, and I think it would ruin it.
It could. I don't know if it would necessarily ruin it, but like, I guess it could, but hopefully it wouldn't. But like, it could be one of the most interesting things to happen to the whole series.
That's true. That is also very true.
But at the same time, like, he has to be the good guy. Like, that's just how it's been. Like, he kind of has to be the good guy.
Right.
So, like, it's so hard to say, like, what you want to happen.
Yeah, I have so many theories that I guess I want to see, but at the same time, I don't want them to follow exactly what Empire did, with him being this Yoda to Rey, and then he not do anything, you know, any fighting or anything like that. I don't want to see them, because Force Awakens, everyone complained because it followed pretty much what A New Hope did, and it was basically the same story, other than you replaced a few characters here and there. But I don't want them to follow the same plot or same kind of style as Empire Strikes Back, where, you know, you have Luke training Rey on Arc 2, and then Rey goes off and fights Kylo, and that's it. You know, that's the whole movie. I want to see an epic battle. I want to see Luke Skywalker versus Snoke, and I want to see Kylo Ren versus Rey. And I want to see some shit go down. The one thing I do not want to see is I don't want to see Luke Skywalker die. Do not kill him off. I swear to God, because you're already, and unfortunately this is the case, but you're already having Leia's story end in Episode 8. Yeah. It's just how it is. That's how the real world works. People pass away. It's unfortunate. But you cannot have Harrison Ford leave in Force Awakens. You can't have Mark Hamill leave in Episode 8. And you cannot have Carrie Fisher leave in Episode 9. You just can't do it.
No.
You can't do it. That's going to wrap up this week's movie Hang Up. Hangout? Hang Up? Hang Out. Excuse me.
Hangout.
Hangout. We're doing, we did a Star Wars one this week. We're probably going to be doing something different next week. Unless there's a trailer that surprisingly comes out for The Last Jedi, which, fingers crossed. But I just want to thank you guys for joining me, talking a little bit of Star Wars. I'm always down to talk Star Wars theories, dude. I love this franchise, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite. It is my favorite, hands down. I've purchased all of the movies multiple times. I've watched the movies God knows how many times. And I will probably watch them very soon after making this video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. For my co-hosts, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe. Later.
Later.